All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Dallas Cowboys. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Detroit! No, check, Patriot!
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And now they'll throw with Allen. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hayes. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now the rookie from NC State, this is Nyheim Hines. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And Green with a catch left side. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
56. Hold on.
Now Allen throwing on second down. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Gone.
Now Allen. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches' meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
Here you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And then look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with the coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal.
Let's go.
They begin with a run by Smith, and he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Smith. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Gone.
Now it's Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
No. Check. Patriot. Check 26. Watch him now, Barney.
A first down carry for Smith. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Set. 319.
The pitch goes to Smith. Oh, a nice spin. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Over the middle, Dorsett. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start, we're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Over.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Jackson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Switch up. Gun.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Would have been right at about a 52-yard field goal try, but no, they are going to go for this thing on 4th down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
4th down, here's Jackson. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dane Cruikshank, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. The rookie picked off the rookie.
And guess what? They're pretty familiar with each other. It's not like when I was growing up and the dinosaurs were roaming the earth and you heard about a guy somewhere. Now they run into each other at camps, going through high school ball, recruiting, college games, all-star games, you name it. A lot more familiarity with each other.
So they'll start the drive here with an end around. And he's got room. A big run there by Johnson. 49 yards on the ground. Well, hello. I mean, it took him a while to get him a rep, but that's quite an introduction to this game.
And not just hello. How about goodbye to the defense as he went past him? Big-time run on his first carry of the game.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. This is Hines, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous. And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. They'll run for it with Hines. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They get it to him running left. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Allen now on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. In for the score. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. Certainly there are good things about quick strike offenses that score fast, but a long drive can also work to your advantage as well.
In so many ways, Brandon, because number one, you get them tired, but the big one is mentally. They can't figure out how to slow you down, how to get off the field, how to get the ball back. They go to the bench wondering, what are we going to do next time in order to stop those guys?
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field. Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. And he's got some space here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right. That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he? He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total. Yeah, really nice gain there. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Gone!
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. From midfield now, here's Jackson, escaping the pressure right. And his throw here's incomplete. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing. And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit! Detroit!
They're going on fourth down. It's Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off here at the 34. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So after the INT, it's Allen. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Caught on the right side by Dorsett. And down he'll go at the 25. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll toss it to Smith. Oh, look at that. They find some open field here. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point splits the uprights, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Allen looks to throw on second down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there. and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Leopard! Here we go now. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Here's Allen to throw it. And that is incomplete. The safety boot of Baker there to force the incompletion.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now here come the Cowboys. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Lucky 56.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down, and that's caught inside the 35. And that one results in 35 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Detroit!
Now a toss right to Smith. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this 1st half.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! Green 39! Over!
They'll run him now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the 1st half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the 1st half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the 1st half.
We'll see if they do just that. Second half begins with a run by Smith. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Again, it's Smith. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Here we go now. 319. 319. No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. Over.
Here's a give to Smith. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Over. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Let's get that ball,
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Dorsett's got it. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Here's Jackson. Being chased out left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On play action, Allen throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hayes, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Detroit! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. Here's Hines on a toss play, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. On 1st down, Allen. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The tackle made there by Jared Davis. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Jared Davis in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And the blitz does come. He's got his man here. It's Green. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Allen will try again on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jamal Agnew. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Lucky 56. Set. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hey, watch it.
Toss left. This is Smith. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And now nothing but green ahead of him. 20, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why. It's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. Room to run past midfield. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Johnson. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Allen now throwing again. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jamal Agnew. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Now the ball comes loose. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They'll run it again with Smith. Room here to run. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Now it's Smith, and he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Over! Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Gone.
On 3rd down, Smith, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th.
Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free. If you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you, and anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding down towards it to try and keep people kind of locked into one spot. And, boy, what a great defensive play there. Weren't out leverage, running to the football from the inside out, turned into a big loss of yardage.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Cowboys going for 2. Now, last season, they were 0 for 3 on 2-point tries. Didn't convert a single one. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized a little bit on top.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. On second down, here's Allen. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
Now Allen to throw on third down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Jags first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because...
And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Jarrett Davis in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Allen throwing on second down, eluding the pressure right. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Jaguars on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Gun! 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 53 spot. 53. Check 53. Here we go. Here we go.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Allen, gotta have this one. And this is incomplete. The Jags come up empty on fourth down. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Watch it now, Barney.
They keep it with Smith on first down. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Over.
They go back to the ground with Smith. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face a third down.
Here we go.
Jackson from the shotgun. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a first and goal. Smith trying to run for it. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Smith is the lone man in the backfield here as they get ready for second and goal.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They get it to him running left. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
Everyone's got 4 down. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watch him now, Barney.
Try to punch it in with Smith. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. And this one is right through. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 17. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And it's incomplete. We're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Cowboys, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
If the squad ain't with me, then it ain't right.